up everyone's had a good refreshment break and a break from a lot of philosophy and concepts and academia that we were in. Now, just to keep you guys awake, I'll get you a tour of the top tools that have been out there so far and what is at the cutting edge of research, right? Acha, in the meantime, can I request all of you to put up the Chat GPT app as long as you don't mind? We'll do a small activity to do a bit hands-on, especially Anjum sir, you also should. The fact that you've organized this session, I want you to finally experience Chat GPT a little bit. We'll do a small activity just to highlight what prompting would really mean in the second half of the remaining session. So first half, again, we're going to talk about some 15, 20 odd tools which you as writers should appreciate even more than every other kind of artist out there. But many more actually, people whoever are involved in the filmmaking process, everyone's got something. Okay, so let's start off with some of these tools, and I hope the audio is on. We'll need a lot of it now. There'll be very little concepts and only demos and showcases. We will not learn how to use these tools. We'll only spend time on ChatGPT a little bit for prompting better, but everything else is to imagine possibilities. Share what question is that? Check. Please don't tell it anything you wouldn't tell a stranger. No, don't worry about it. As long as you're not putting in personal information, it's okay. It cannot scrape your phone. So I guess email ID chahiye hoga then. You could use your desktop and then you don't even need the email ID. I think app may they mandate it. Okay, so we're going to go through our set of tools here. Should I start or do you want some time for the app to be downloaded? Quickly. Do you want me to wait? Okay, cool. So this is, I'm going to go through a miscellaneous list. I'm giving a couple of the best ones that I like most at the end. But there's no order to this list, okay? So I want to show you all these things that you haven't probably, most of them you would be new to you. I'm not covering the classics, Sora, Midjourney, they're all done, right? So we're not going to talk about them. So this is one called HeyGen, and what it does is it automates the talking heads. That's all it does. It does a good job at automating these. You can put in a script, and with a few of short clips of you talking, I've tested it out. I have a digital avatar of me that they can misuse anytime they want now. And it does a pretty mediocre job so far. But the technology is getting better and better. Can I have the audio? Yeah? The audio is not working again. It's very important for us to have the audio perfectly well for this.
Hey there. Welcome to HeyGen, where you can easily create fun, high-quality videos using our AI avatars and voices. In just a few clicks, you can generate custom videos for social media, presentations, education, and more.
Okay, so this was a small sample, and I think we can detect that there was something unnatural about it, right? So far the constraints are that it cannot move and have expressions as strongly, but this is an older tool. This video is something like 6 months old. I don't know why they haven't updated it, but there is far better technology that has come out now. So we'll see those next.
Hey there. Welcome to HeyGen, where you can easily create fun, high-quality videos using our AI avatars and voices. In just a few clicks, you can generate custom videos for social media, presentations, education, and more.
The next one is Domo AI. I think this is like the low fidelity VFX equivalent, okay? It's like how if you wanted to make a human-like character and animate it and do this avatar, right? See how well it does. You can do 8-bit. So the possibility in storytelling suddenly expand a little bit more, right? We are looking at the smaller ones, then we look at the bigger jumps again. But look at this. What would you do if you could do this? I think only you guys can imagine this, so I don't want to put in ideas there. Right? Imagine what kind of art would you create. You can expect YouTube to be full of these small clips for casual videos first, and then soon it will get absorbed into. See, look at this. You must have seen the guy on the right. If you scroll and doom scroll Instagram regularly, you would have seen this Greek god dancing on modern hip hop. He's a very viral character now. Let's see the next one, okay? By the way, at any point of time, if you find a solid use case, you're like, aha moment, I could now do this, which I've thought of. Please do share that. I think that is where I need your contribution. To show a tool is very different from imagining what it could do. This is again an older paper. It's not even a tool right now. It's a paper coming out of some science lab in Georgia Institute of Technology. And the guy had done an internship in Google, right? Agrim Gupta, some Indian. And this is what he could generate. Okay, this is again 6-7 months old. And I was about to delete this slide because I'm like, ab Sora aa gaya, what's the point of showcasing this? Right? So this is how fast things change. Now, this was gorgeous back then. People were raving about it. And real filmmakers did not, of course, care about it until Sora came. You can have a dog. So this implication is more on stock footage. That's why I'm saying YouTube will adopt it much faster because they don't need the same standards of storytelling and the quality of visuals that you guys need to have. This, I think, is very cool. Take any character's video and transfer it to any image static character. So there are multiple videos of Elon Musk dancing again because one person imposed their pose. So this, what it does is pose transfer. See, 1 second. Yes, here it is. So they just took one photograph and picked up the pose detector from someone dancing and imposed it on it. Now you can make her do whatever you want like this, right? So all the bad dancers in Bollywood have something to save face. Okay. Again, then let's come to this. By the way, this post-transfer thing is again hyper useful with animation. You want to animate real movements, right? You be the Mickey Mouse, wow, who cares? You can act like that, but of course you won't get the dramatic cartoonish effects if you want them. So it helps you create a fantastic animated story quicker or use a character in different contexts. One of the ladies here, she had shared, this was a concern that one clip was missing from the entire shoot. And maybe in that they needed the character or the actor to do a certain thing. They could do that with this easier now, right? Without the character showing up on set. The set can be fake. The character can be fake. But your job is done. You can't create a complete movie with this, by the way. Parts of it, yes. Then let's see this. Okay. Remember, motion capture is something that we don't usually even employ in our films. Until unless we have good budgets for it. So I want to show you this. Where is the video here again? Yes, let's see this.
Hey, what's up everyone? It's Tino from move.ai, and today I want to show you how to capture high fidelity animation like this using our markerless motion capture platform.
You don't need 100
Step
cameras to
one,
capture your motion
capture.
and the suit for
now,
it.
all we need is a camera system, like for example some GoPros, and some space. There's absolutely no need for a suit or any markers on your body at all. And then we're good to start capturing some movements. And this could be anything from dancing, action, acrobatics, idling, whatever you like. Step 2, convert. Now, all we have to do is upload the videos, configure some settings, and then we hit run. Step 3, create. Now we export the animation, open in your favorite 3D software, and that's it. 3 simple steps for creating high fidelity AAA quality animation using our markerless motion capture platform.
How does this sound? Any thoughts on this one? This one required still multiple cameras. There is another tool which lets you do simpler things, but with one camera, it can detect it can even recreate your back of your body. So it can visualize you completely without actually having the vision of it. I hope that is there after this. But any thoughts on this? How would you deploy this in a movie? Mitesh, do you have any thoughts? You would have done something similar in Tumvad, right? In some capacity, some format. I would love to know that.
For a while actually, but
It's on.
we did use motion capture then. We didn't get to use that footage in the final film because then we changed the set and all. But yeah, it was very expensive. This huge motion capture camera was called for like 5 days. A lot of people, the crew with the thing, and one, it was expensive, very rigorous also, and like the shooting was very rigorous. But yeah, I'm sure. I mean,
Do you think if this would simplify access to someone like you who wants to make these stories?
at some point, yes, not in the current state, but yes, at some point, yes.
These are all evolving. Right now, we're in the middle of the early part of these, right? Like, this beginning, right? So it's going to be integrated in across all tools.
Right.
Sir.
But this is easily like
Hello.
hundreds of thousands of dollars worth translated into few $10. That's the scale of resources we are saving and optimizing with. Yeah. Anyone was asking something? Yes, please.
No, we produce
Too many lights. 1 second, please. Can we turn it down? I can't see anything. Yeah. Please tell me.
Okay. So we produce a lot of training videos using motion capture. So this could be a good thing too. No, it will save a lot of cost.
Yeah. The first one, talking head, could be fantastic for education and scaling there.
No, this could be for technical trainings. It could be a great.
Never thought of this. These use cases are endless. People are still discovering what they can do with these technologies. Let's go to the next one. So this one is especially for writers of how you could use AI to make better scripts. But it's a companion. That's the word, a co-pilot, companion, assistant. These are the terms you would have heard sprinkled around, right? It is crafted specially for them. We won't be able to see the tool. It takes a longer time to go through it. But 1 second. I want just to show you this. Yeah. So it has a structure where it asks you, I don't know if you can see it, but it asks you for a set of questions. I will cover this in my ChatGPT thing, where I tried creating a movie. I have not written like a 1 paragraph worth of story in my life ever. And I could get some assistance from it. What it does, it asks you what genre you want, what audience are you catering to, what language, what is the duration you're looking at, what is the log line, put in your idea. We do all of these. These are things you learn in your classroom, right? In terms of structure, when you go in an academic route. But when you actually start writing, you don't have access to those frameworks and those lessons in a very consolidated manner. It seems like a formal approach when you start writing, really. So this helps you stick to the structure and benefit from the structure. You can choose to break out of it later. So it gives you that, amplifies everything. See, idea inception, premise definition, right? Protagonist crafting. You can define every character and their traits. And then how should they interact with everyone else gets defined by the multiple characters that you put in. So they have an occupation, backstory, personality, everything is there. Then the antagonist development is happening, obviously. Supporting cast, again, same. Then you want to structure your plot. So right now the story is still yours. Do you see how there is no, this is the opposite of someone taking, it's like you making your story far better in shorter time. This is that example, right? Of course, if someone really wants to run with your idea, I think they could also go through the same process. But then then the question of ethics really gets blurry here. So the plot is being structured. You can define the acts and so on. You get a sense? I don't want to show the tool ka internals, but I strongly recommend you guys should all try. I will share, I will share the link to the WhatsApp community that I would like all of us to share our thoughts on, by the way, dedicated only for AI. And there I would love for you to try and share your experiences. Plot.beta. I would recommend write down some notes in your phones. That would help. Then, like Midjourney, this is again a way to showcase the pace of change here. This particular SDXL Turbo, its power is its real-time image generation. Earlier, it was used to be minutes. Notice how it's evolving with the prompt. That's it. Did you catch it? Do you want me to play it again? Notice how the image changes with the prompt here. What happened? Yeah. So this is to show that how things are going to get better. And this is also, by the way, 3 months old. It's not like even latest. And in the world of AI, 3 months is too old. 3 months is equivalent to a decade of progress in any other technology. That is the pace. Check. Huh. This is to show you that eventually how smooth the workflows will get. Now is another one. I think this has major consequences for set design. Okay, so you have extremely expensive sets, locations. Now this concept of how it's implemented in technology, it's called Smurf or Nerf. They're two similar technologies, not the same. I'll talk about this. Just have a look at this clip first. There's no audio, it seems. Okay. Doesn't matter. So this is a real home. What they've done, and I've tested this out personally. It might not be evident here. Let me explain what was done originally. So there is, the app's name is called Luma. You can check up on Apple Store or Android. I think it's on Android as well. So you literally take your phone, walk through your home and space, covering every part of your home in video, right? And what it does, it translates every video frame into a 3D model. Now, that home ka space becomes a downloadable file in your software. You can place virtual characters in a virtual set, which is actually inspired by a real place. Which means soon, if you wanted to have a shot in Scotland, in the castle in Scotland, instead of paying, again, hundreds of thousands or probably $1 million for that matter to have access to a location to Times Square, right? These locations will all be a file with the same technology. I think this is one of the big ones. It seems very humble, right? So what you've done, you can still create 3D models. How expensive is it to try and recreate the 3D models of every location out there? Now, there will be a job of freelance AI set makers who will go plot out the sets with their, of course, more nuanced ones than a phone. But the phone is good enough for most use cases, right? Probably not for the top-notch filmmaking. You just walk around, this auditorium is recreated with the pose control, with character alteration. Now suddenly what was worth like probably $50 million in terms of non-labor expenses, right, has gone all down to a fraction by 10,000, 100,000 times cheaper. Not talking about 10 guna sasta ho jayega. If you can download Scotland and put your, whatever actor there, it's done. That's how simple it will become. So that's where we are headed. So every location is a file in Adobe now. Think of it. Every character can be a file. But the character motion, the character ka body motion and facial expressions, the emotions, the intensity that a character or an actor brings in, right? That I think will be super hard to capture with AI. It will be much harder than these problem statements, right? So we don't want to overextend these cool things to everything is possible now. I want to be very cautious of creating that hype also. By the way, with this idea of sets as files, what would you do? Any thoughts quickly? Any dream location which you would want first? Antarctica, right? North Pole and South Pole, fair enough. What other locations? I'm just curious. What seems like a cool location to have? Sorry? Pandora. हाँ मतलब मोबाइल लेके जाना है तो फिर Pandora capture करना is hard. They'll still need to go through 3D. Anything else? White House. See, amazing. Yes. So yes, sitting here in India, we could recreate a complete drama about the US politics technically. Right? And we could produce for the global audiences that way without having global actors and global sets. Then comes this another one. What it does, it simply generates a 3D model from an image. This was the image generated with Midjourney. You gave a prompt, generated with something like Midjourney, gave it to the model, and it converted into a proper functional 3D model. Just an image. And you know what, again, a super exceptional 3D artist, what they would charge. Now you would be thinking that what would the 3D artist do then, right? We'll come to that. We'll come to that. See, Messi is done. Batman is done, and then all AI can be, of course, naturally taught where the elbows and knees are and where it's supposed to bend and put up the pose detection on this, and so on, right? So the biggest impact, as you would see and realize, is on the forms of storytelling which were harder to access before, which is sci-fi, horror, right? More futuristic concepts, which are alternate world scenarios. Those are far more going to win far more than the conventional concepts. कि एक लड़का लड़की को प्यार हो गया और फिर कुछ हो गया है, मतलब कुछ तो ऐसा scene that wouldn't have too much advantage using it. Then comes this one, Pandora's. This is what you're suggesting, Pandora. This would create your Pandora. Imagined spaces as file, as a 3D space is here. And in 360, which means, I hope we have all kind of gotten a sense of that there will be a new form of filmmaking which is going to evolve, which is going to be immersive filmmaking. Right now, we try to bend our screens in IMAX and make it a certain way to make it immersive. Now it's going to all move to VR. But what does VR filmmaking mean? We still don't know very well, right? Because we're so used to 2D films and having the director control the perspective. We are so used to that it'll take us a while to reframe ourselves to what does a viewer participating in the movie mean? How would I change that? That is a new field opening up completely. The pace at which VR and AR, like all of these tools are evolving. If you've experienced one of those, they're getting crazy good. Within 60,000, you can literally have like the most high-end games experience already. But games were originally designed to be immersive. Movies weren't. So we have to see what movies can learn from the gaming world. The gaming world will teach this to the movies now. It's very cool. So let me show you which was the example. I'ma kick back when you say make that. Back when you say make that. When you say make that. When you say make that. Not bad, right? Not bad at all. So this is again one of my favorites. So combine this again as a downloadable file. You can download Scotland and you can download Pandora literally and start working on it in 10 minutes. Do you see the power that an individual artist suddenly has? And that is what I was saying, that a lot of problems of plagiarism will actually not be solved very well. We will still struggle and we will still need to fight against it. But they would be compensated with the greater power in the hands of a few people. Right? And just to give that analogy, back in 2000s, making a website was a very high-tech affair. You know that, right? It was a solid, legitimate, high-end technology business. And now you speak to someone, nobody wants to be a website developer. It's the most commodity technology skill ever. You can right now develop your website for free with a few, you don't even need AI for that, right? Forget AI. So, which is to say, a lot of websites which used to cost 10 lakh for a few pages are now 0 rupees for infinite pages. This is what technology's amplification and multiplication looks like, how it makes things cheaper. The same logic applies in filmmaking, where a technology which was an affair of 500 people involved on set, off set, pre, post, right, everywhere, compressing down to 10 people, depending on the size of the project, maybe 1 person, 5 people, 50 people, again, we don't know how many depending on the project, you will have micro production houses. My prediction is that you will have evolution in the filmmaking world by having so many more production houses than ever. And it won't be 10% more, it will be 5,000% more, which is like 50 times more. It will become a cottage industry. The way website development is no more an industry that way. Tech development is, Android may develop, whenever it becomes complex, you need experts for it, right? So right now, anybody can go learn on YouTube how to make an Android app, but we don't start making our own Android app, right? Similarly, a bunch of friends, you'll say, Whistling Woods mein dost, अरे यार तेरे को editing ज़्यादा अच्छे से आती है, मेरे को writing आती है, तुम डायरेक्टर की तरह ज्यादा सोचते हो, आ जाए अपन तीनों मिलके एक मूवी बनाते हैं, लेट्स स्टार्ट विद अ 5-minute मूवी राइट नाउ. That is how it will begin. And it will grow into serious production houses with just 10 people, 15 people, churning out a blockbuster every quarter. That is a world possibility there for the first time. And I think this is very empowering. Then comes this. Okay, this combines, this is a particular, the way Adobe is a suite of tools. Wonder Studio is at the cutting edge of things. It is improving still, but what it does is it brings in all these research papers and very advanced techniques and puts them in a usable software. Okay, it pieces them together in a coherent manner. So it is doing to filmmaking what Adobe did to editing.
They say all great stories
Volume,
start
please.
with a sense of wonder. And what if bringing those stories to life wasn't limited by our resources, but only by our imagination? Welcome to Wonder Studio.
Can we dim
where
the
making
lights?
movies with CGI is as simple as selecting your actor and assigning a character. The system uses AI to track the actor's performance across cuts and automatically animates, lights, and composes the CG character directly into the scene. Whether it's one shot or a full sequence, Wonder Studio analyzes and captures everything from body motion, lighting, compositing, camera motion, and it even tracks the actor's facial performance. All the artist needs is a camera. Filmmaking is a medium of creativity and collaboration between artists. There's no AI that can replace that. Wonder Studio was built to empower those artists while still keeping the existing 3D process in mind. Alongside the rendered results, Wonder Studio gives you the ability to
This one is a
export
big
the
deal for
individual
editors.
layers you need to
Extremely,
deliver
and
your
lighting
final
people.
visual effects shot. Whether it's lighting, camera, or animation, you can maintain full control and make detailed adjustments in 3D space. From the paintbrush, to the typewriter, to the camera, tools have always been an extension of the artist, a means to help our voices be heard. With Wonder Studio, we hope the world hears yours.
I think this is my favorite. If you found it cool, I would love to have a few claps for them. Honestly, this is a big deal. This is a big deal. I've not made it, but I'm a big fan. If someone can make this happen, it seems like everything is possible, honestly. So the optimist in me gets very happy. Cool. So this was one of the coolest ones. I'm going to show you one of the audio tools. There are a few more writer tools which are there, but that was the coolest one. So I'm going to send you these other tools as a separate list. I think we won't cover them here. This Suno is another deal breaker. It's like so on all dimensions of filmmaking, right? Writing, visuals, then within visuals, VFX and lighting, and so many more things are there, editing. And then comes audio. Audio, whether it be of the kind of music like songs or even background score, Foley and stuff. All of that is now much, much more accessible. So let's see this. And by the way, this, again, from a writer perspective, I realize this is more exciting than necessarily some of the musicians. We'll have to address their concerns separately.
It's been a while without thinking of you, but the thought makes me smile. I'm so tired of wanting more than this. I know it, but what am I to do? I need some space to breathe.
Let's see the other one. Notice the genres they had picked. So you can see the influence of experimental, jungle, liquid funk. I mean, if you understand music, you will see some of these make sense immediately, right? Sounds cool. Like literally sounds cool, right? So the first use case I had in my mind was to start gifting people custom songs. Right? It's like if for example, my friend Rohit is here, right? And we share a relation for the last 12, 15 years, we've known each other. So if on his next birthday, you can expect a song if I haven't forgotten my promise yet. But it's very easy. I can describe who Rohit is, what kind of work he's done, what kind of person he is, what he means to me. And then it'll generate out lyrics and sing itself and music, it's everything. So it's not bad, right? But if you were to make something for Dune and you're expected to give an intense experience like Hans Zimmer does, there it'll get more nuanced. When you talk about higher order creativity, higher order art is necessary, there you will need far more things than a prompt generator. And this is where I like to introduce the idea of what is AI good for and what is not. There are some strengths, but there are some weaknesses also. So the strength is it can generate a lot of very realistic sounding, looking, hearing things, but it does not let you have micro controls on it, which a director needs, which a composer needs. You cannot right now control exactly kaisa hona chahiye music. Isne generate kar diya hai. Now you'll have to make it your own. If you have like apart from a casual use case like a birthday gift, right? Where I won't probably fret over it. In 10 minutes, I'll be done. But if you really want to publish something, you want to make it your own, you'll go ahead and modify so much more because it doesn't match your vision. But that also means that by the end of this year, my prediction is in the world's top 100 chart of music, at least 2 to 3 songs will be fully generated with AI. This again is a prediction I'm making. By December, top 100 globally will have 2 to 3, at least. More, that will be shocking to me as well. That you can expect. But that doesn't mean it tends towards that eventually. Like, aisa nahi agle saal 15 aur uske agle saal 100 ho jayenge वापस. That's not what it means. So this was music. ये तो ठीक है. This is useless. One second. Yeah. Okay. It's used by, they claim it's used by 1 million screenwriters already and TV shows and blockbusters, right? Let's see what they do. So this is meant for more professional teams when they want to collaborate and have some AI support. Similar to the one that we saw earlier. Yes. Okay, so you can outline your story, let it add details and modify and suggest alternatives. That what is Cinderella doing in the pumpkin scene, pumpkin ride scene. You can imagine many more possibilities quickly. It's a great brainstorming partner. I think that's the biggest value add for a writer right now. At this point, one is structure. You can follow the certain known principles of storytelling better, right? And then choose to break out of them if you wish to. Second, you can generate far many more creative possibilities. AI will give you 10 ideas. You'll reject 7 immediately. You'll think about 3 and you'll probably end up accepting none. But your creativity would have had a tinder, right? It would have been ignited by these possibilities. And then you'll make some of your own ideas. I've done that before in the context of business as well as some creative writing. Again, this is similar as that. You define your characters. The UX, the interface looks different. That's it. Okay. We've seen the better one here. And this one, I think you can probably start using immediately. What it does is it generates a storyboard much quicker. It saves you so much time. You as a writer, if you want to prepare a storyboard or have a pitch quickly, this is super for it. Lights off again, please. I would love if you could try it out after the session sometime and share the results with us. How does this look? It was a very simple tool, nothing fancy. We've seen a much fancier one before this in the form of Wonder Studios. Would any one of you want to would be inclined to use it in the coming few days? Anyone's got a story worth storyboarding? Oh, a lot of people. Cool. Please do share your results. I mean, whatever you can, of course. Okay. And there are a lot of tools helping writers block. I think that's one feature. Then let's do this. No, not Kai, wait. Yeah, this Topaz Labs is something, again, you can start using. It's super expensive at this moment. But what it does is it specializes in improving the resolution of assets. So while it sounds very simple compared to the other tools, it's one of the most money-making products out there at this point. People need higher quality assets all the time. And editors love this. See, and an image, I don't know if it's as evident or not. See, as soon as you lose data, it generates details. That's what the generation is. There's no logic that it follows. It just knows what blurred images and unblurred images look like. Sorry? Upscaling tool, exactly. It's an upscaling tool. So this is something you can start using. That's why I kept it here. Topaz Labs. And then finally, this is the other LTX Studio, similar to Wonder Studio, but has some different features. It has AI at the center of every step of filmmaking. Let's have a look at this as the last showcase, and then we can have some questions and follow up with ChatGPT.
So does anyone have anything else to add?
Volume, please.
Artie. So does anyone have anything else to add? Artie. What do you think?
I agree.
I know when you snore, it means you really agree. It's only midnight. I'm gonna let you all go early. We've got a long day tomorrow, and I need you all fresh.
What?
Why are you awake, sweetie?
Mom, I had an awesome dream and I don't want to forget it.
Tell me all about it. Was it scary or silly? Were you hanging out with aliens again?
Toto was standing by the window.
Hang on 1 second.
The dialogues are AI generated if you haven't gotten it yet.
Okay, tell me about it, sweetie.
So, Toto was standing by the window, staring at me in bed. Then, All of a sudden, he jumped out the window, and I ran over to see where he went.
Wow, that sounds like a cartoon.
No, it was like real life, and we were skydiving. And then I jumped after him.
You did what?
It's okay, Mom. We had parachutes.
What color were the parachutes?
All sorts of colors, and there were mountains all around us. We were getting really close to a big mountain, and it was getting chilly.
I bet it was snowing.
Yeah, it was snowing. Tons of snow. There were sleds waiting for us when we landed. I held onto Toto real tight. He was a little scared, you know, because all of a sudden we saw witches.
Witches?
Witches. Yeah, they were wearing red hoods and playing instruments.
What kinds of instruments?
Guitars, bass, tuba, trumpets, all the ones I like. We were sleighing so fast, we went right into a forest.
A forest like from our camping trip?
Kind of, but this one was so dark and scary, Mom. Like in fairy tales, there were huge, creepy trees, and none of them had leaves. There was so much fog we could barely see. At the end of the forest, right next to a magic pond, we saw a cabin.
What did the cabin look like?
It was made out of wood and had a big chimney. All of a sudden, Toto started growing. He kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger, as big as a horse.
I bet he grew so big to protect you.
When we went inside, there was a band playing, a band of dogs. Puppet dogs. And they were playing Happy Birthday.
Whose birthday was it?
Yours, Mom. Did you forget? It's your birthday.
You remembered my birthday in your dreams. That's the sweetest thing I've ever heard. I love you so much.
Love you too, Mom. Night.
This is good enough? Completed? Okay. I'm in the wrong place here. I shouldn't let a story be untold. Okay, but this is super cool, right?
Want to see something cool?
Yeah.
I heard the most amazing story, and I wanted to make sure I didn't forget it.
Oh, look at Toto. Whoa. Look how scary those witches are. They just give me shivers looking at them.
Bring your stories to life in ways you can only dream. Introducing LTX Studio. Early access begins next week for waitlist members. Join now.
Quite a showstopper. So this concludes this part of the session.